On the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, for the first time in history, the commander of the Royal Saudi Land Forces, Lieutenant General Fahd bin Abdullah Mohammed Al-Mutair, landed in India on a 3-day official visit. Riyadh and New Delhi aim to become strategic defense partners and major regional players. Lieutenant General Fahd bin Abdullah held extensive negotiations with the commander of the Indian Army, General Naravane. They discussed ways to further strengthen bilateral defense cooperations. What's interesting about this visit is that this is the first ever visit by the commander of the Royal Saudi Land Forces to India, which undoubtedly marks the deepening of bilateral defense cooperation between India and Saudi Arabia. Indian and Saudi relations have grown due to the common interests of economic prosperity, climate change, and counter-terrorism. It's quite funny to even think counter-terrorism, but it's true. Sure, Wahhabism was and is a Saudi product, which has contributed to many terrorist organizations. However, Crown Prince Muhammad bin Salman is now calling for moderate Islam.
فقط نعود إلى ما كنا عليه الإسلام الوسطي المعتدل المنفتح على العالم وعلى جميع الأديان.
Saudi could have called for Islam based on the Holy Quran and Sunnah and not just adopt the Western term and call it moderate. But that's what they've done. Whilst India, on the other hand, is hurtling towards a Hindu Rashtra, a Hindu state, where they want radical Hindutva to become the fabric of their society. But it is what it is. Saudi and India didn't form their relationship overnight. If you remember, back in 2021, there was a notable upsurge in defense relations between the two countries due to a series of high-level interactions and the first ever joint naval exercise called Al-Mutair al-Hindi, held in August 2021. All this illustrates that Saudi Arabia has completely changed in respect to how it conducts foreign affairs. It's stopped funding madrasas and mosques around the globe. There's a huge storm currently on social media around the hijab ban over in India. However, Saudi Arabia has kept mum on the issue. Even their religious scholars haven't said anything publicly. Shame when there's supermodels like Bella Hadid using Instagram to raise awareness of discrimination against Muslim women who wear the hijab out in India. This is the same Saudi Arabia which funded salafi mosques out there in South India, and today everything has changed.
The UK-based Henry Jackson Society released a report in 2017 stating that Saudi Arabia,
since the 1960s, has sponsored a multi-million-dollar effort to exploit Wahhabi Islam across the Islamic world, including to Muslim communities in the West.
In his book The Wahhabi Code, Terence Ward states that in Pakistan,
General Zia-ul-Haq, after seizing power in 1977, imposed Sharia law and then gave carte blanche to create countless Saudi-funded Wahhabi madrasas.
I'll give you an example of how much they've changed. General Naravane and General Fahd met. There was a picture in the room just behind the two. It's not known how many people's attention it attracted in India, but over in Pakistan, there was an earthquake. The photograph behind Naravane and Fahd was going to change the history of the world, not only India. The story of the formation of a new country and the story of a country's breakdown, disintegration and shame. Bangladesh was carved out of Pakistan in 1971. The Indian army supported the Mukti Bahini. The Pakistani army was defeated, and then in front of General Jagjit Singh Arora, General Niazi of Pakistan signed the surrender documents. This picture is not circulated much in Pakistan. However, the Indians use it for political purposes against Pakistan. There's a joint army of Muslim countries in Saudi Arabia. It was blessed by Donald Trump not so long ago. Its headquarters are in Riyadh. More importantly, at one point, the commander of this army was the former army chief of Pakistan, General Raheel Sharif. The question is being asked, has India become more important than Pakistan for the Saudis? And why was the picture published in the Saudi Gazette? Was it to humiliate Pakistan for not sending their troops to protect Saudi Arabia from Yemeni drones? Whether Narendra Modi stays or he goes, the alliance between India and Saudi Arabia will only just solidify, and it's not just Saudi Arabia but also the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. So far, Pakistan has been blocking India's move to join the OIC. Organization of Islamic Cooperation. However, I see that changing too. I also see India playing a huge role at the Gulf Cooperation Council, especially since they've now inked a free trade deal worth well over 100 billion with the United Arab Emirates. Saudi hasn't given much to the world apart from oil and Wahhabism, and now they're trying to do things differently. A little too late. However, what all this is showing us is they are prepared to chuck their fellow Muslims under the bus. Wahhabism is like a cigarette. A bad friend gives it to you and then they quit shortly after, and you're stuck with destroying your lungs for decades.